Hey everybody, so Jon David had a 10 out of 10 day. Basically could not have gone really any better. The word of the day is blood gas, and that's important because we've had a lot of them pulled. And a blood gas is just where they draw blood to see how the gas exchange is going, specifically the gases being oxygen and carbon dioxide, to see how he's doing with his body being able to regulate those two, because we need less carbon dioxide and we need more oxygen, and you can't have too much of both, but you can also have too little of both. And so just making sure there's a good ratio there and that there's a good exchange. We only had one bad blood gas today, and that was when he got really agitated for a little bit, but then he got held and got some booty pats and he calmed right on down, went to sleep, and after that all of the other ones have been good. So he had a good night last night. Today, the only real thing he did today was extubation. They did not wean his decks because they didn't want to challenge him any more than what the extubation was going to challenge him. And so they did the extubation about lunchtime. He had some adjusting with it just because it's, taking the ventilator tube out. He now no longer has the ability for them to take that catheter in the ventilator tube and send it down and then pull the mucus plugs out of his lungs. So he's had to have chest PT, which is where they take basically a face mask and pat him on the back to try and break up some of those mucus plugs so that way he can cough them up on his own. And so that has been a little bit of adjusting. Heart rate's a little bit of adjusting. His breathing rate's been a little bit, again, he's just having to kind of figure life out because he's been, for roughly 10 weeks, he's been on a ventilator and has not had to breathe on his own without the tube. And so there was a little bit of a learning curve, and he still is kind of figuring it out, but he's doing well. His gases are showing that he's doing well. So we just have to give him regular chest PT and basically just kind of calm him down whenever he gets a little angry, because when he does get angry, he bears down a little bit and causes him to desat, but he rebounds pretty quickly from it. Usually, 30 seconds, he's usually back at it and he's fine. And normal babies do this. However, normal babies are not in an ICU hooked up to all these different machines showing their oxygen sats and everything else. So we don't really see them do it when we can see that they turn colors a little bit, but we don't see them on a machine showing all of this information. And so he also had some smiling today and blowed some bubbles, which was really fun to see because, again, we haven't seen that in months now. And then we also got some snuggles with him. And we do have just a wonderful staff here. It was really nice to we had quite a few staff members come by and check in on him today, who've had him bedside before or who have been involved in his care before, or when I say his care, some of his emergent situations, and who have a trauma bond with him. All of them loved coming by, seeing him extubated and seeing him improving. And then we also had a note from one of our RTs, and that was really sweet of her to leave this. She actually left last night while we were sleeping, and then I saw it this morning when I woke up for him. But again, the staff here has been phenomenal, and so we really appreciate our medical staff and how much they've taken care of Jon David. That being said, Hunter had himself a fun day going out to Miss Anna's and playing with Aaron, and then he went digging for worms and dressing up. And then this evening he went frog hunting, and he was really excited to call Daddy and show me the frog. And then he was really upset that Mommy wouldn't let him take the frog inside the house. And so he threw a little tantrum, but that's normal for a 3-year-old. And then he was dressed up in his Christmas pajamas because for whatever reason he wanted Christmas pajamas. And then he also wanted to get into his gator suit. And so he was a Christmas gator. But it was pretty much his evening. And then he went and spent the night with Mimi. But he had himself a pretty fun day. If y'all would, pray for these 3 things. 1, that Jon David will continue to tolerate being extubated as well as tolerating his feeds. They have not fed him since 4 a.m. yesterday in preparation of the extubation, but they will start feeds probably, it's now morning. So like this morning when we have rounds, he'll probably start feeds back, starting at a slow amount and then working his way up. So just pray that he'll be able to tolerate those feeds as well as being extubated at the same time. And then if you would pray for all those who've lost loved ones, but especially those who've lost children. And then pray for the kids and families battling congenital heart defects, because again, this is not an easy road. It is not as much as you can kind of know and get some content knowledge and some information beforehand, it truly does not really prepare you for all of the things that you're going to feel and see up here. And so if you would pray for those families, because again, this is not an easy road for anybody. And then if y'all would celebrate with us and give praise to God and to the medical team that Jon David has been doing well and has had a phenomenal day being extubated. That has been a huge step and one that we've been working towards for a very long time. But all that being said, I hope y'all have a good night. God bless, and y'all continue to choose Hope Daily. Jon David, have a great bye-bye.